breaking news out of Cleveland. James Harden, he sustained a fracture in his right thumb. It occurred during last night's win over the New York Knicks. Brian Windhorst, Chiney Ogwumike, Mark Spears. Brian, what do we know about this and the diagnosis?
It's the tip of his thumb.
Yep.
And he's going to consult with the hand specialist today, but he's questionable, but I think he's intending to play tonight.
So he is questionable for this game against the Milwaukee Bucks, and it's his right thumb that he's
his right hand. Obviously, he's a left-handed player.
Right. So Chiney, he's a lefty. How is this actually going to impact James Harden?
So he's a lefty. This is my left hand.
Yep.
And then right thumb, the tip of the thumb. I know a lot of people that have thumb injuries that are not that bad, and it seems like this one doesn't seem too serious.
Yeah.
They just tape it up. The issue could potentially just be the catch. You feel it because you use that to really get protection of the ball. But this guy is basketball savvy, so if he's available, that means that it's probably in a better situation than most.
So this is going to happen when he's catching the ball, Chiney, more so than when he's shooting it. Can you show us the difference?
Yeah, so when he catches it, you need all hands to catch the ball because no one throws perfect passes 100% of the time, right? They're going to be here, you're going to have to grab it, and you're going to use some force behind it.
All right.
Now, when you shoot, it's a little bit softer because your offhand is what guides it and does not really dictate where the ball goes. So if he's able to hopefully, I'm assuming, tape it up.
Right.
I've seen countless players play with a taped up, messed up little bit thumb.
All right, so I've talked to a couple of folks around the Cavaliers this morning and around James Harden, and it seems, Brian, that they're hoping that this is a pain tolerance issue. But he is meeting with several other specialists here just to make sure that, as Chiney says, this is the only extent of this is to tape up that thumb and it's not displaced or something more.
Yeah, that's the key. It's not displaced, and so, if it was another finger, you'd buddy wrap, but you can't really buddy wrap your
thumb.
You need it. But, there's optimism that he's avoided serious injury, the folks that I've talked to. Also, we'll point out Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley will be out for tonight. Mobley coming off a calf injury. This is the 5th game in 7 nights. But, James Harden, we're in an era where not all-star players play every game. James Harden has a reputation of playing through stuff. 5 games in 7 nights. Again, as long as he gets the clearance from the hand specialist, what I'm told is he's going to try to play tonight's game.
Okay.
One thing he's done incredibly well is made Mobley and Jared Allen much better. So many alley-oop passes, easy buckets. Does that, and I want to ask you that, I know you weren't about the shot, but does it affect his passing?
Well, it's not just the passing. Again, if you're taped up, and I know you said, Wendy, that normally you buddy wrap when you have fingers like this. I feel like Spock right now.
Yeah, doing that.
But sometimes the wrap goes around, and that is more unnatural, especially if you're dribbling, right? You dribble, you need to be able to have different points where you access the ball, whether it's a wide divide or closer. So, again, if it's a pain tolerance thing.
And that passing comes from left hand, too.
Right. Yeah, but it's both sides of the floor. You're going to need to dribble with the right hand. You're going to need to dribble with your left. You're going to be able to catch with your right and catch with your left. And if he's protected and it's a good pain tolerance, these are the types of things that hoopers are known to play with.
Again, James Harden finished this game, their win over the Cleveland Cavaliers in what could have been an Eastern Conference Finals preview. Right now, it's unclear exactly when he sustained this injury, only that he was still feeling some discomfort today. And so now doctors are looking into just the extent of that. But we hear that's a question that is going to be asked over the course of the day. We'll have more on that a little bit later. But Chiney, we're sitting here in Los Angeles.
We are.
You have a ball.
I do.
And there is one question that is circling around this city.
Shoot!
Why did
Shoot my
Luka
ball!
shoot that shot? And that is where we head now with Luka, LeBron putting
the NBA with the Lakers last night.
Just try to attack.
I'm not sure. Obviously you have to ask Luka what he saw on that, but I thought he had a good look, and it looked like he kind of just lost his balance. Didn't have the rhythm with the ball, whatever the case may be.
Let's talk about all this with basketball analyst Chiney Ogwumike. Chiney, what is your assessment of that final sequence between LeBron and Luka?
LeBron said it, didn't have rhythm. To me, that is a microcosm, not just that final play, but also the play before where they couldn't get a defensive stop. They're 24th in defense. But on that shot, why did Luka not have rhythm? It's because they have limited minutes as a big three in Luka Doncic, LeBron James. Got it, yes. But I can understand in that situation a little hesitation because on the night, he was 2 for 10 from 3. Sometimes you think about those moments, but even bigger picture, Luka's someone that goes alpha mode late in games. He's the one that gets the ball at the top of the key with no one else near him, knowing he can hit you with that beautiful step back. The system is not necessarily benefiting or working for the big three for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I think that is the bigger issue, and that's what that shot represents. And hopefully it's a moment in film for them to say, how do we make sure, Luka, you can feel confident enough to be the guy that we've come to know? And, I don't want to overreact to one game, but I do think that this is a good opportunity for them to discuss that moving forward if they're going to try to make a push in this playoffs.
Okay, Janae, we have much more from last night, including a big Eastern Conference matchup. Cleveland making a statement at home, beating the Knicks 109-94. Donovan Mitchell dropped 23 points. James Harden added 20 in the win. The Cavs are now 6-1 since Harden's arrival. Both teams now tied for third in the East, looking up at the Pistons and the Celtics, respectively. So, Janae, credit to the Cavs for continuing one of the best stretches of the season, while New York drops to 4-5 against Cleveland, Boston, and Detroit. Why are the Knicks so inconsistent against top competition?
You look at the roster on paper, you'll say very similar team, but very different results when it comes to going up against the best of the East, as you mentioned. And I think the one with the biggest change, the player, is Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns, actually his numbers have gone from, in points per game, 24.4 points per game down to 20. And you're seeing someone who dictated the game in Jarrett Allen right there, because if you say in this matchup who's poised, who has a skill set to really separate themselves, it's Cat. He claimed to be the best shooting big man in basketball, but he only had 5 shots on the night and 1, I believe, in the second half. That is inexcusable. Now, I don't like this giving out pieces of the blame pie, right? But one obvious thing is a coach. If you see that your team and your star players in Bridges and Brunson are 12 for 36 from the floor and your team is shooting 27% from 3, you go to the inside. That man was 5 for 5. So you have to make the necessary adjustment. But I'm also a player, and when I felt like I was not getting the ball and I could help my team, do you know what I did?
What?
I pulled up into that paint and I demanded the ball. I had a fit. I showed everyone that I am capable of attracting attention based off of my talents. So it's twofold: having the system benefit Cat, and then also having Cat do what needs to be done just to prove that he's putting his effort out there and you cannot blame him.
You mentioned he had 1 shot in the second half in 12 minutes played. So, yes, that face right there. Yes, that says it all.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, the 2 best records in the league meet. The Thunder and the Pistons go against each other. No SGA for the 9th straight game. So what will you be paying attention to most in this one?
Ooh, I love a good revenge game. And, you know, great players find any reason to be motivated. And I believe Cade Cunningham is going to be motivated because he came off of a loss to the Spurs where he did not shoot well. He was 5 for 26 from the floor, and he was only 2 for 9 from 3. The Spurs had their way, and they sent a statement. Right now, the Spurs are sending a statement to the Western Conference, but here was the NBA's best Detroit Pistons. And so for me, I look at Cade Cunningham seeing an opportunity. Obviously, SGA is not there, but still it's his squad, and he is currently, SGA by the books, the favorite to win MVP by the numbers when it comes to Vegas and all that type of stuff. And so why not send a message to the team that you could potentially see in the NBA Finals, and also a message to yourself that I can bounce back, because that's the expectation. The Finals is not easy. You might drop a game, but how you respond matters most.
Breaking down hoops with the best in the business, Janae Agwumike. Thank you.
Love y'all.
All right, coming up.